Have you ever been in a trade and you're trying so hard to stay in that trade? Yes, you're trying so hard to stay in that trade. And it feels like the best thing to do in that scenario is to get out of the trade. You see that one bearish candle or that one bullish candle drawing so near to your stop loss, and you start to panic. You start to say, wow, let me get out of this trade because I don't think this trade is going to work out. Now, a lot of the times that is a good idea. It is a good idea to cut your losses short. Now, let me explain why. A lot of the times it's important to cut your losses short because it keeps us away from unnecessary losses. It keeps us from blowing the account, right? But the reason why you are still unprofitable is because of this one reason. And as you can see from the title today, this is why you clicked on the video. I'm going to explain to you why this one mistake is keeping you unprofitable. I'm going to try to shift your psychology when you're in drawdown, or if you're close to drawdown, or if you're thinking about exiting a trade too early. And I'm going to also explain to you when you should cut your losses short. So stick around till the end of the video and let's get into it. So like I was saying before, if you're anything like me, there's been times where you sabotage your own trades. Now, a lot of the times I know that fear is a real thing. I get scared too. I get scared when I see that candle forming about to hit my stop loss, or so it seems, because the thing about trading is it's so mental. It's really a mental war. It's literally you versus you when it comes to trading. So that is ultimately the war that you're facing. It's not the technical analysis. It's not the candlesticks. Well, sometimes it is, but it's just you versus you, because once you hit buy or sell, the only person making that decision is you. So what I'm trying to say is when it comes to trading, you often get scared because your money is on the line. Your hard-earned money is on the line, which is understandable. And this is the reason why you're in this position now. And I can explain it so well because I go through it myself. I noticed in my own trading where I would be in a setup, and because that one big candle would look like it's aiming for my stop loss, I would get fearful. Then I would exit the trade. I've realized that after I've exit the trade then goes in my direction. So it comes down to your psychology. You got to understand that once you press buy or once you press sell, that's it. You done already made up your mind. You done already came up with your bias. So you should be confident in that bias. That's the whole point of trading. That's where you want to be mentally when it comes to trading. You don't want to be the person who is second guessing. You don't want to be the person who is not confident, because I promise you the market is going to exploit and it's going to eat you up. It's going to really do you in if you're not confident in your setups and if you don't trust your setups or yourself. And I wanted to relate this exact thing with a Bible verse that I believe really resonates with this topic. And the verse that I wanted to read to you guys is from Matthew 14, verses, we could start at 26. So it says, "And the disciples saw him walking on the sea. They were troubled, saying, 'It is a spirit,' and they cried out for fear. But straightway Jesus spoke unto them, saying, 'Be of good cheer, it is I, be not afraid.' And Peter answered him and said, 'Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water.' And he said, 'Come.' When Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to Jesus. But when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried, saying, 'Lord, save me.' And immediately Jesus stretched forth his hand and caught him and said unto him, 'O thou of little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt?'" That is a powerful verse that I wanted to add into the video, because we see how Peter Once he saw the wind coming, and he was doing so good until he started looking around. He started looking around at everything that was going wrong. Instead of paying attention to Jesus and keeping his eyes laser focused on Jesus, he started looking around. And that's where fear and doubt kicked in. And that's the same thing with the markets. Once you start to look and pinpoint everything that's going wrong, once you start to look at that one candle, once you start to diagnose that one candle that looks like it's about to stop you out and you get fearful and your heart starts pounding, those are the moments where you should be like, okay, you know what? Let me set and forget this trade. Because a lot of the times we get out. A lot of times we become like Peter when he was trying to walk on the water. We start doubting. We start doubting and we're like, man, like maybe this trade isn't going right. So let me get out. And then boom, before you know it, it starts going in your direction. It's so much worse for price to hit your stop loss than to get out of a trade early and then for it to go in the direction that you predicted it was going to go in. It's so much worse. When do you know you're supposed to cut your loser short? Now, there's a difference between actually getting out the trade because it's like, okay, this thing is not working out compared to being fearful. So you know when you're supposed to get out of the trade if a recent higher low in a bullish market is about to get taken out or a recent lower high in a bearish market is about to get taken out. Sometimes it might seem like these highs or lows is about to get taken out, but really it's just maybe a news event or it's maybe just a lower time frame correction happening. But if price clearly looks like it's about to take out a previous higher low or a previous lower high, then you know you should cut your loser short. You know, if you're on the verge of blowing your account, let's say you risked your entire account and you're in the super negative. Now, a lot of brokers are gonna margin call you. They're gonna get you out the trade before it even hits your stop loss. But let's say you done risked your whole account and you're almost about to blow it. That's how you know you're probably not supposed to be in that trade. Now, I want you guys to build up your faith muscles when it comes to the chart because that's all it is. You just got to learn to trust your analysis. Now, I don't know a lot of you guys trading journeys on here. I hope to build a deeper connection with a lot of you guys to know how long you guys been trading, but I'm going to assume you guys are seasoned traders. So if you're a seasoned trader, you clearly obviously have the tools or you clearly know how to trade. It really just comes down to your psychology. So the biggest lesson I've learned from almost 2 years of actually taking day trading seriously is you must conquer your fear and doubt when it comes to trading. You have to. It's a game of trust when it comes to trading because this is why I always say too, like trading can be spiritual. You know, there's not a direct guarantee that price is gonna make a new high. We just assume because it did it in the past. And I believe confidence is built from repetitiveness. So if you do something over and over and over and over again, and it produces you the result that you're looking for, that's going to build confidence. That's going to build confidence or give you confidence to know that every time you do this thing and you do it a certain way, it's going to produce the outcome you were looking for. And that builds confidence. Repetitiveness builds confidence. That's how you have to look at the charts. If you know you're supposed to enter at this point, at the correction, at the fair value gap, if you know that's your entry point, you got a market structure shift and breaker structure. If you know that's your entry point, why are you being afraid to enter the trade? Why are you cutting your trade short just to watch it go in your direction? Just trust your setups. That's literally what it comes down to. Just trusting your setups. Just having an understanding that I don't know how it's going to make this new high, I don't know when, I don't know how, but just trust in God that it's going to happen. A news event might come out in an hour or the next day or in the morning, and you wake up and prices deep into your into the green, into your profits. You're probably almost at TP. So it just comes down to trusting. And I guarantee you that's going to bring you more and more success once you gain that confidence and trust in your setups. I hope this video is able to bring you some type of guidance. I hope this video helped you in some way, shape, or form. If so, be sure to drop a like, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm out.